All right, I'll get started here. As far as injuries go, did not finish was Tease Tabor with an ankle on the special teams play, and then Tevin Jenkins with a shoulder. I want to start off by complimenting Seattle and their coaches and players. They're a well-coached football team with great players, and I think, it's similar records for us. These guys coming out here and competing, you saw how their guys came out and fought, and same with our guys. And that's why I'm proud of our players for never stop fighting. They don't quit. Down 10 points like we were to keep fighting. And again, I think it just speaks to who they are, and they deserve this win. The coaching staff, I thought that, quarterback-wise, for Flip to be able to do what he did with Nick and those guys just working out all week long. And then Coach Laser, I thought he did a good job staying, patient with the run game. And then Mike Snyder helping out, too, with Ryan, our backup. So offensively, some guys had good, big parts of the game at the very end. Obviously, starting off with Nick at quarterback, for him to come in and do what he did, it just shows who he is. And he put us in some good positions and protected the football. Jimmy to have the touchdown at the end, I was happy for Jimmy. And then Demir to have the 2-point play and to make a strong. Both of those were contested catches, and Nick made a great job giving them chances to come down with it. So they fought. Defensively, we had a couple sudden changes, and again, a couple weeks now, we get some 3-and-outs, a couple sacks. Robert Quinn, I think he's at 17 now, so pretty neat for him to have that. And then they played hard, and credit to the coaching staff. And then special teams with Daz. I thought you could really feel that's not easy being out there in the elements and catching the football like he did, and you could feel that punt return. That was pretty neat. And then for them to miss the field goal, that helped out. That was a big play. So, it was the biggest thing for me and for our team in there is that the guys never stop fighting. And I just, as a coach, you love that about them, and that just speaks to who they are.
Matt, the one win doesn't change anything.
No.
Picture for you or for
right.
the team, but for you personally, what did it mean to you to have this moment and to have the things you just described to every player play for you like that?
When you get into any sport, any profession, there's, you look at it and you say, we all have to have a little dignity and pride into what we do. And it's not easy when you lose. I mean, trust me, I've been on a lot of football teams in my life, and there's not many that I've been on where you have a losing record. So, even for me, learning how to be on a team that has a losing record isn't easy. But you got to be able to persevere, you got to fight, and you have to be able to give it everything you have and have no regrets. And so I can only do so much as a coach. We can only do so much as coaches. When the players go out and do what they do and show to us as coaches that they're going to play hard, and essentially they're not going to just say, I'm just going to show up and just do they're going to play hard. The last couple of weeks, they've done that. And so it means a lot to me, because sometimes when you go through these coaching experiences, when you win, it's kind of easy and things get deodorized. When you lose, it's really freaking hard. And how do you learn from those moments? And I'm taking a lot from these moments that we have. And right now, today, the only thing I'm proud and happy about is for those players in that locker room to be able to enjoy this win for tonight. They deserve it. For the coaches too, and for me, I'm just proud to be a part of it.
Matt, when you told the guys last night to empty your cup, where does that come from, and what did you mean by that?
Well, we talked last night. I on those Saturday night meetings that we have, sometimes I have something prepared, and sometimes I don't, and I just kind of speak from my heart. And last night was one of those. As we got going, we had some guys talk, and after the game last week, my freshman son and I were driving home, and we just talked about the story that he's learned about no regrets and emptying your cup. And without dragging it out, it was a pretty cool story that he right now is doing as a young athlete. And I thought it really resonated with our team and our coaches, our players, that whatever you do, win, lose, or draw, if you just empty your cup, if you got a full cup, you got a half cup, and you empty it, and we all empty our cups, we'll have a damn good chance to win a football game. If you just pour your cup and you don't empty it, then you're not giving it all you got. Throw the record out. I don't care about the record. throw whatever out. I don't care. What I do care about is when we're out there. Every coach out there does it, has no regrets, empties their cup. Every player does it. And to have that story come from my freshman son, it just meant a lot. So I kind of spoke from my heart. And it's cool to hear that it impacted David, and maybe it impacted more.
Was he the one who came up with you?
No, that was my oldest son. Yeah.
When Foles was out there last season, the majority of the time he struggled. Did you have any idea what you were going to get from him today?
There's a lot of reasons, without getting back into last year, why we struggle, not Foles. And I think that's the one thing that we all need to be very careful of with what we say about Foles struggling. I mean, there's a lot of that goes into last year. So I'm happy for Nick that he got an opportunity today. Not happy for how it happened with Justin and Andy, but Nick's always going to be prepared. And, you know, for him to be able to come into this moment, you know, he's been there, done that in a lot of different ways. So last year was last year. These guys have persevered this year and fought through a lot in the quarterback room, and they've been great with each other. They support each other. And so I just think, like, when you go into a game like this, it just speaks to who he is, how he does things. And he helped our team tremendously today get the win. And so for that, I'm very appreciative.
I know you want to celebrate this win, but did you get the sense this past week Justin might be able to go next week against the Giants?
Again, I don't know that because we're day-to-day right now with Justin. We're just going to see literally where he's at, and we're going to go off of, you know, how he feels, and then putting the player first. How do you feel? And if you feel good, and I think Monday and Tuesday will tell us a lot as to being able to go into it. And then if not, and he's still not feeling good, we'll see how it is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and go from there. But we're going to rely on where he's at, what our trainers say. And then, obviously, Nick is going to be prepared as well for that.
At what point did you know you were going to go to?
Before that drive. We knew the play, we knew everything, you know, so we felt really good with that. And they did a good job switching it off. You know, we had a man play, and they switched it off. And then sometimes down in the red zone, it's about the players making plays, and that's what Nick and Demir did.
Players compliment Nick on his calmness.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that comes from his experience, or is that just the quarterback that he is?
It's both. It's his DNA of who he is. I mean, you guys see in big-time moments how he acts and how he's been in his career. And then it's his experience, too. They showed some things today, whether it's post-snap, that I don't think really affected him much. We got into the RPO game a little bit today. We had some big plays. Had a great read on the run there to Khalil for the touchdown. So that's just kind of who Nick is. And he's always had that, you know, and I appreciate that about him.
Matt, you talked about how different it is of a job, the day-to-day experience when you're winning.
Yeah.
Back to 2018.
Yeah.
Well, how have the last 3 years been for you to repeatedly be trying and have it come up futile, and then do you get a little bit of a break from that, a little bit of relief from that today, getting that moment like this?
No, I'd say when you look back at these 4 years, you know, in 18, we didn't know what we didn't know. We had to learn how to win, and we did that. In 19, you got to learn that now you're the hunted. You know, you're not hunting anymore. And so we went through that year. And going 8-8, did not make the playoffs. Learned a lot through that year, and then going into last year with the COVID, and for the guys to be able to go 8-8 again and make the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. You know, the thing is like through some of those years we hit some losing streaks. You know, and that's kind of what magnifies it. And offensively, we had to be better. And so now you go to this year and. You know, it's not the record that we want, and we didn't get the wins that we wanted to have. And so when you fight through these moments, the biggest challenge is making sure that guys still fight, and they're doing that right now.
Matt, you had told us the other day that you were going to start Fetty over Borum. I don't think we followed up and asked why. And then, you know, today Thomas Graham's, you know, platooning kind of
Yeah.
drive. You had opportunities to play, to give rookies more playing time. Instead, you kind of, you know, you went with the vet.
There's a lot of there's stuff that goes into that. Different positions. It's really, really simple to just say, yeah, this guy needs to be here, or this guy needs to be there. But there's conversations that are had based off of certain sides that you play. Guys that are in and out based off of COVID or an injury, practice reps, stuff like that. And there's a dynamic to it. So what we do is we talk through all that, and I think that are had based off of certain sides that you play. Guys that are in and out based off of COVID or an injury, practice reps, stuff like that. And there's a dynamic to it. So what we do is we talk through all that, and I think every player, every situation is a little bit different, and every week's a little bit different, and you got to go back and you watch the tape and you see how guys play. And, you have an injury like today with Tevin, and now Larry's over there playing on the left. So there's just different parts of this that we talk through, all of us, and just decide what's best. And then we make that decision and go.
When you say what's best, is it what's best on Sunday? Is it what's best long term? Yeah, how do you balance it?
No, I mean, it's for what have I been saying all year long? It's what's best for Sunday. Yeah. And so when you have young guys, you have to be able to, like a guy like Larry, he's done a very good job when he's been in there. And we understand that. And then he was out, and then Fetty comes back in, and so you're going back and forth, and so we got to make a decision in the end for the week with the practice reps and which way we want to go, and also keep these guys rolling a little bit with practice, and then you end up having injuries, and now you got to decide left and right with the tackle situation, and we just need to make sure we're doing what's best for the team right now. Was what?
Dinged up for a little bit? It looked like you were kind of rotating the corners a little bit.
I don't think so. I mean, I'd have to go back and find out. I don't think so. But yeah, there's a little bit of a rotation in there right now with some of those guys. It's kind of the same thing that we're talking about right here with the tackles.
Real quick on Cairo, so he got hurt, and
I think he's
swimming toward the end. Was there something?
I think he's okay. Yeah, I think he's okay. I think it happened on the tackle. He got hit, so. Toughen him up a little bit. I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna find out when we get back and find out where he's at, and we'll keep an eye on that. But
thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank